Hey guys, and welcome to our second video. It's super late. We just got done watching the Age of Ultron movie. But once again, I am Jimmy.
I am Cody.
I'm Sean.
And you're watching the Just Saying Network. So, it's late. We're going to try to have some energy for this video. It's been a very long day for all of us. And we're going to try to do our best to not have a ton of spoilers for this. But no promises there. We'll try to warn you though if it's coming up so you can shut your ears.
Spoilers! No.
Shut your ears.
Yeah,
I like that.
shut
earmuffs.
Or they can just go up maybe like 30 seconds or a minute. You know,
right?
That's technology. Come on.
We'll try if we're still talking about the spoiler. We'll probably try and say it every 10 seconds.
Or there'll be an annotation. So there's always that too.
Yeah.
So, but I thought the movie was fantastic. I loved everything they did about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoyed the movie. It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was. First of all, it was really funny, and the first one was really funny too, and they really have kept that humor streak going. Mm-hmm. So I definitely applaud the humor factor for it.
They've made them more of a team, so they're a lot more comfortable with each other. So they're actually hanging out now, having jokes and whatnot.
If you saw the trailers, you'll see them being drunk and trying to lift the hammer and everything. That's made it in the cut of the movie, which was really cool. And yeah, the humor in it was way more than I thought it would be, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it for that aspect.
Even in the most serious parts, there was humor.
And that's something I like about Marvel. They don't try to make everything super serious like DC with Man of Steel and The Dark Knight and whatnot. But it was still really serious movie with humor thrown in. So. And then also with that, the casting was also phenomenal. So
yeah, introduced some new characters into the mix. Obviously, we have Ultron, the villain. But then you also have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Both were chosen very well, in my opinion. They were good additions to the movie. Although I wish there would have been more of them in terms of backstory and stuff like that. We got like a little glimpse, but I never felt like they're really fully developed and engrossed characters in what was going on.
And I mean, that was they were just a part of the movie. I mean, if they were going to go in more in depth, maybe that'll be in the next movie, or maybe they'll get their own movie.
Yeah.
Along those lines, they kind of did a brief introduction to them, so.
That's something I feel like they did really well. Like they did it with the Avengers 2, how they threw in all the characters together, but some of them had their own backstories. Like Hawkeye had it in Thor. Scarlet Witch had it with what was it, Iron Man 2? Yeah, Iron Man 2.
Black Widow?
Yeah.
Black Widow.
No, yeah, that's what I meant. Not Scarlet Witch. Really late. Sorry,
it's late, guys. We're struggling.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We've worked all day.
Well, we wanted to get this video to you guys.
YouTube.
Thanks, Sean.
Good job. We'll say probably in the next minute or so there will be some spoilers because I do want to talk about my favorite scene, which was Hulk versus Iron Man. That was by far my favorite scene and favorite fight scene.
Yeah, it was crazy well done.
Yeah,
and it was funny. Holy crap, that was funny.
Yeah,
watching just spoilers. Watching the Hulk just rage out against Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. just cracking jokes away the entire time.
Right.
Was pretty darn interesting.
Well, and that's Tony Stark in general. He's very sarcastic. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that fight, I wish they would have told us why the Hulk was freaking out. Of course, we talked about it, and obviously the Hulk is afraid of himself, and that kind of we're already in the spoiler zone. So that's why. What's her name? The Scarlet Witch. She messes with his brain to show him his fear and whatnot, and pretty much we can just assume that it's of himself.
And if you don't know this about the Hulk, the more mad he gets, the stronger he gets.
Right.
So I think that's also with this fear of him being scared of himself destroying everything. Just made it worse.
And he's been battling that the entire movie.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's something that I think made the movie. I love how they made. Again, slight spoilers on this one. They gave the Hulk more of a role. Same with Hawkeye. They gave them more of a bigger role than, say, in Avengers 2 or Avengers 1 or the other Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this is going to be a big topic also, kind of dealing with the Hulk, is the relationship between him and Natasha, which was kind of cloudy in the first Avengers movie. You couldn't quite tell what their relationship was, but kind of seeing this movie now, it was very clear that they had a strong connection from the beginning, but it's taken time for them to figure out what that connection, really was. So,
and, I mean, if you didn't get that from the first movie, like me, then it really seems like it was almost forced.
You just didn't watch the same movie we did.
Well, I did. I just wasn't thinking that. That's like being, Captain America and Iron Man are in love. Who would have guessed until the fifth movie?
It's a bromance, brah. There's a difference.
Okay. So I bet a lot of people are going to think that it was really forced. I don't think it was forced. I don't think they portrayed it very well from the start. There could have been a little bit more to hint at it, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was actually a great addition to the film, and for future films, for that to
it'll definitely add on to the story.
Yeah.
It's just they were very subtle with introducing it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and too, I like how they did it with like everyone seeing it, but Banner seeing it, or everyone seeing it, but like Banner and Hawkeye and whatnot. It's like it was there. Everyone saw it, but Sean and
not
Banner.
in the first movie. Yeah, it was very obvious in the next movie. But
one thing I loved though about the whole movie was Ultron. He's one of my favorite Marvel villains ish.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Deadpool, which isn't more of a villain, but he's one of my favorite like characters in Marvel, and they portrayed him perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly. So
yeah, James Spader, he did a really good job voice acting for him, and of course, if you don't know Ultron, he's basically the creation of Iron Man in a sense.
Well, in this one, he's Iron Man. Yeah,
it's Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, the original one, or if you go to the newer one, it's the Vision.
Okay.
So,
well, at least in this movie where he was made from Iron Man, he definitely gets the sarcasm from him.
Yes, 100%.
Definitely, and that makes the movie a lot better too.
Yeah, it's not. He's like a terrifying presence, but he's also kind of has this dark, cynical humor to him, which probably makes him even more terrifying. Because a lot of times I couldn't tell if is he messing around or is he gonna kill somebody right now?
Right.
And
I couldn't figure it out.
I think that gave him his kind of gave him his more of I wouldn't say like a schizophrenic side, but like an evil genius. I don't know, like smart ass type persona thing. Because he had the wittiness of Stark and whatnot, and it made his character just a little bit better than what it would have been if they didn't keep that.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it kind of keeps you on the edge because he could be cracking jokes and whatnot, and then the next second, killing someone,
right?
Like out of nowhere, he'd do that,
right?
Words,
exactly.
Words.
You
guys are supposed to cut it.
So something that's really interesting about this movie is the Winter Soldier that really pushed the Marvel universe forward in a really dramatic way. This one took more of in my opinion, more of a subtle approach of dealing with a completely different angle of the characters and the heroes, reflecting more of their human side and their struggles of justice and really what they want to do to protect the world. And you start having big clashes with different personalities, especially Stark and Captain. So that was really cool to see that be played out. But this film was just, I don't know, it was different from any of the Marvel films because a lot of it was building up characters and creating all the characters and then putting them in a team environment. Well, now that you have the team environment, what do you do next?
Right.
And it was a movie trying to find a different angle.
Yeah.
And that's most likely why they're doing Civil War now, because where they're so comfortable with each other now, they're gonna cause more conflict between them.
Right. Yeah, and see, this is what I saw like with most of the Marvel movies is kind of what you said, Jimmy, with like how they're all building them all up. They didn't want it. I feel like Marvel, and especially Joss Whedon, I love his directing. How he didn't want it just to keep snowballing. How like Avengers 1, you had Loki come in, Tesseract, all that good stuff, aliens coming in, and then maybe next movie would have been Thanatos. But they had to stall it to make the characters, I want to say mature, but make them more human-ish. Like they're the superheroes that like save the world, but they're also like people. They can be broken, kind of like, and that's what Ultron essentially wanted to do.
Yeah,
he wanted to break the Avengers.
Right.
So I think that's why I really enjoyed the movie too, was because I saw how the snowball effect with all the Marvel movies, and then this one just stalled it to make it more dramatic for Winter Soldier, for Civil War, or for Avengers 3 with everything coming in. If you don't know what's going to happen, slight spoilers, things go haywire.
This whole video is a spoiler. Do we really need to say it?
It really is.
Yeah.
So spoilers of the whole video.
Right.
But I agree. I think it was the perfect ending, because in a way Ultron did succeed. He's shaken up the Avengers in a completely new way, and I think everyone's left with their own struggle that they're dealing with, and I think that was the perfect way to end on.
Right. I agree.
So now all the characters, if they start doing more in separate movies and things like that, there's something for all of them to go off of now.
Right.
Was I the only one expecting a Spider-Man Easter egg-ish? Or was that just everything?
I mean, that was really soon. That
Yeah.
the whole Spider-Man thing happened.
I kind of wanted it. I kind of wanted it.
Well, I mean, that when they announced Spider-Man was going to join the Avengers universe, they were probably already done with production.
You never know.
Well, I mean,
they could have.
It's just all building the hype up to the Infinity
Right.
Gauntlet. It's the first Avengers movie. You see, Thanos. You guys don't know who Thanos is right now. Just
Watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
just wiki him.
Yeah, just
I don't
Google it.
know.
Honestly, just Google it. Don't Google Thanos versus Darkseid. That just will blow your mind. Just do Thanos.
Different universe.
Yeah. But it was kind of just expected that there'd be something more on Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, which
Yes.
has been building too. So
I was gonna say with that, I also love how they made the Vision too. Like I stated before, the Vision in one of the universes, essentially, he made Ultron, but in this one, again, spoilers, Ultron slightly made the Vision, so it kind of threw me for a loop, but it made it better, because now he's the...
Well,
Vision's going to be kind of a complicated character to explain in this.
Yes.
I think that's one thing to just kind of watch the movie. He's a new character, and it's going to be really interesting, kind of like the Martian Manhunter and stuff like that, where he's kind of a newborn child, in a sense, and it's going to be interesting to see how he develops in future films.
Right. And he does have a slight, or I wouldn't say a slight, but he has a really big role in Civil War too. If you ever read that series of comics, he's the person that doesn't have a side, essentially. So he plays a really big role when it comes to both factions of the Civil War. So I'm ready to see how he portrays that. So. Okay, so I'm kind of close to ending this video, I think, because we went a lot into it.
yeah, don't want to go too long.
Yeah, just a little bit. But ratings. What would you rate the movie?
My rating, personally, is to see it. It's a good movie. I don't like to give movies like 4 out of 5 stars or anything like that. I think if you've been watching all the Marvel movies thus far, you're not going to be disappointed. It's great. The action is phenomenal, and it's it's taking a new turn, a very slow, unique turn for the Marvel Universe. But I say definitely see it.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, again, like what he was saying, probably couldn't put a number to it, but I definitely would recommend seeing it. Definitely has a lot of good action. It's funny. Again, really good character selection, good actors, and everything like that. James Spader did a really good job as Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'll probably say the same. It's fantastic. I think the only thing I think that really made me really enjoy this movie is the backstory. They gave a lot more backstory than they did in some of that, especially for some characters that didn't have a backstory. So I think that's why I really enjoyed this movie. Plus the action and all that good stuff that everyone wants to see in a Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Joss Whedon did a fantastic job directing and whatnot. So I go see it. If you're a Marvel fan, DC fan, comic book fan, whatever, just go see it. It's a fantastic movie.
So thanks for watching this much shorter video this time. Doing our best to try to stay on topic, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Cody.
I'm Sean.
And you just watched a video on Just Saying Network. So,
please like and subscribe.
Yep.
And if you have any questions, hit us up on Twitter, because we do have a Twitter now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll also take suggestions on what you want us to review.
Yep, that's
Leave
true.
them in the comments.
And keep watching for our next video. We're going to be covering Xenoverse. So
yeah, that'll be a fun one.
Definitely stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Later.
See ya.